So the month of May was an absolute rollercoaster of a month for the Coffee to 100k challenge on eToro. After two very slow and inside months, the portfolio gained just shy of 4%, which is pretty much 5x the SPY and the S&P, which is something that we would all take month on month. But the big question, is it sustainable? In this video, I'm going to recap on the previous month, but also give my market thoughts and strategies for the coming months with this portfolio, because I think we are in for a bit of a bumpy ride. But that said, I do think we are very well situated, and if we continue to buy value, we will see a decent end of the year too. But for now, let's focus on what we did last month and my market thoughts for the coming 1 or 2 months in the future. But please remember, this is not financial advice. I'm just a guy with a beard on YouTube refusing to buy AMC at any price because they have more debt than Barcelona Football Club, Real Madrid Football Club, Dan Brazilian, all his goats, and of course Pitbull. Now, if you do appreciate videos like this, give the like button a cheeky wee slap. It's much appreciated and it will massively help this video reach a larger audience. Now, if you are new here, very briefly, what is the Coffee to 100k challenge? The concept is very simple. A simple Starbucks coffee a day can eventually equate to $100,000, a massive milestone. This portfolio is public and you can go and check it out on eToro. You can even go and copy it. And in full disclosure, I'll be adding $180 every single month to this portfolio so that we can help grow it over time to that lucrative $100,000. Now, last month was absolutely crazy. We had a very much an inside month in terms of equities, especially in the US. We had crypto sell-offs, we had tech sell-offs, we had the crazy AMC and GameStop run-ups. We had a stock that's very popular on the channel, Virgin Galactic, finally sending people actually into space. But nonetheless, our portfolio went up 3.8% for the month of May, which is definitely not bad considering the 2 previous months were pretty much flat. So how did we outperform the SPY by 5x in one simple month? Well, there's 2 main reasons, and I'm going to cover them both right now. Number 1 is buying into the right sectors ahead of time. If you go back and check the channel, I've been talking about market crashes, market corrections, and what you should really do. And I've been doing this in the portfolio and also in my main portfolio. I've been moving into certain sectors that I think will do well if a market correction / crash does happen. Now, if we do look at the Coffee to 100k challenge, the 3 main sectors we are currently in are sectors I've been talking about for months now on the channel: aerospace and defense, e-commerce and retail, and food retail. When a recession does happen, consumer staples tend to perform quite well, utilities tend to perform quite well, and the aerospace and defense sector, which is the biggest holding in the portfolio, currently coming in at around 17%, is for twofold. First thing, defense stocks do pay good dividends and they're semi-safe over the long term. Of course, provided you pick a big company like Lockheed Martin, which is one of the ones we are currently invested in, and you're not going buying some drone company that's just started in someone's basement. But the defense and aerospace sector, the reason I'm more in this is more for the defense and the long-term aspects of space. We have Rolls-Royce Holdings, which has just signed agreements with the UK Space Agency. And then one of my favorite stocks of all time, which is Lockheed Martin, pays you a solid dividend, great defense contract for the US government, and has many applications. And again, including what is above us, not the sky, past that, all about space. I love space stocks, and I think this will be the biggest industry ever to have existed in the stock market in the long haul. I'm not YOLOing into Virgin Galactic stock, and I'll talk about that in just a second, but companies like Rolls-Royce, Lockheed Martin, and there's many others that are moving into this sector slowly. I think it doesn't harm your portfolio to take a small little snippet and slowly increase that over time. So if any of you are wondering why my biggest holding is defense and aerospace, it's not because I think the world is going to break into World War III. It's more about the space aspect and the long haul. I also think these companies will probably not fall as much as tech stocks would in a market crash. So it is something that I will continuously buy into if the right market sets up. Now, the second reason why we outperform the SPY so much is my main thesis and strategy. Everybody should be buying value. Buy your value stocks, stocks that you really like, as low as possible, and keep buying them. As long as your plan and research and thesis is good, you can continue buying and keep hoping that it falls because you can get even more. Scaling is key and buying low is more keyer. That's not really a word, but you get what I'm saying. Buy as low as possible and keep increasing that size. That's why I don't YOLO in with leverage into one ticker. I try and buy it in 5% slots. And what I mean by that is, let's say I'm going to put in $1,000 into any said company. I'd be buying into it 5% at a time every time I see a big red day. The downside of this is you never really get full allocation to any one stock. but that means the cash that you've got sat around is going to be allocated elsewhere, adding diversification and making sure your portfolio is a little bit more Loctite and safe. And if you still are unsure about buying lows, just look at two of the additions we added last month. We added some into Kinder Morgan. We're currently up around about 7% on that one. We also added into PLTR on the way down, and on that trade itself, we're also up 8%. So even though we might not be green on all these positions, on eToro, we can see that the ads are green. And if we continue buying value, this will help bring the cost down and make it easier for you to actually get into profit into any company. But again, this strategy will only work on companies that have a bright future and companies you have a really high conviction rate on. Now, looking into one of the gains we took last month, a 50+% gain into Virgin Galactic stock, ticker symbol SPCE. A ticker that's been very popular on the channel. People have been asking for more videos on it. A company that I was sort of passionate about, but I wouldn't be betting the farm on. Something I've made very, very clear in the past. But if you don't know what this company does, basically it's putting people in space in terms of tourism. A tourism space company, something that will definitely be in the future at one point. But Virgin has been riddled with insider selling, some negative press and delayed flights, and people are really questioning, can this company actually put people in space? Now, I was buying value on the way down on this ticker, and in my main portfolio, I'm still up like 70% on this ticker. But it got me really thinking, why do they keep delaying flights? One of them was as simple as weather and a few other minor complications. Now, this would normally short-term be seen as a bad catalyst, a bad indicator that they cannot send people to space if it's bad weather. For me though, I seen value in this. I seen that, okay, they're delaying flights, but why? They want to make sure everything runs perfect, it's clear skies, they can get as much camera footage as they can and really hype it up. I took a take profit limit at around about 50%. eToro automatically took me out of that position. I made some decent money, it helped boost the account up, but that is just another proof that if you have conviction in a stock and you're not willing to bet the farm, slowly scale in, you can start getting some decent gains in your portfolio. Now, if you do want to see this portfolio and even copy it, yes, you can copy on eToro. Every month I deposit $180. You can go in there, copy, and when I make a trade, it automatically makes a trade for you, so you can follow along with the process. You can sign up on the link in the pinned comment, and if you do sign up via that link, you get chat room access to the eToro LWT chat room. I'm there every single day, and you can message me directly. Now, going on to my second favorite trade of the last month was a short on cryptocurrency. I think actually I did a video like 3 months ago talking about Bitcoin regulation before it actually came in China. I just didn't expect it to be China to be the first. I thought the US would be first. And the whole thesis behind this was cryptocurrencies will need to be regulated in some shape or form. Countries really do care about their whole currency. Look at the US, they will literally do anything to protect the US dollar. They're not just gonna let people go and buy Bitcoin without either hyper-taxing them, regulating it, or any other aspect where they can get an edge to keep the US dollar as the main currency worldwide. Now, this might not never happen, but it was a big concern for me, and that's one of the reasons why I really didn't have much exposure to cryptocurrency. But as soon as this news came out, I took a short in Ripple, XRP. And why did I pick Ripple, not Bitcoin, not Ethereum, or not even Dogecoin? Whenever I'm looking at taking a short, I tend not to short the big boys. So for example, if the tech sector is selling off and I think the tech sector is overvalued, I won't short Apple, Facebook, Amazon. I'll probably short something like Twitter, a medium company that's semi-well known, that is probably overpriced, but financially not as secure. I mean, I can't just come to fathom shorting Apple or Amazon because their cash flows are just too great. The company is in a good situation, whereas Twitter is in the same sector and their financials are just nowhere near as good. So I think it's a safer option to get into something like Twitter in that scenario. And that sort of led my way as well with Ripple, because Ripple also has some negative news with the SEC ongoing at the moment. And I think there's a lot of bag holders on the chart anyway, because it's been much more volatile than Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I took a short in this and I still haven't closed it. It's still open. I have a stop loss at my break-even point, so I cannot lose on this trade. We are currently up about 30% of the recording of this video, and I will look to take this off if we get to that 50% mark. Now again, shorting is a very serious strategy, so whenever I do take a short, especially on this coffee to 100K portfolio, I always have a stop loss in mind, and I will never bet the farm. So if you are thinking about copying, don't worry, I never go YOLO into any short position, especially not on something this volatile. But a small amount of money like we've got in this one a 50% gain can literally give us 1% growth on our total account. So that's why I did it. We now have a stop loss in place. So if you are copying from previous months, first thing, congratulations, what a month it was. But if you are copying, don't worry, we have a stop loss now at the break-even point. But will crypto continue going down, or has it already bottomed out? I am thinking about doing a video on this, so if you're watching this far and you want that video, let me know down in the comments. Now again, the two key points was buying value and also buying sectors that you think will do well in the coming short term. Scale into these ones and scale out of the ones that you think have peaked. I've been doing this for literal years, and last month my main portfolio went up 4.98% in a single month, which is absolutely bonkers. If we go on the S&P and SPY, which did like 0.6, my main portfolio absolutely knocked this out the park last month, and I hope that continues, obviously. Now, in the coming months of June, July, and August, what do I expect and what am I doing? Well, the first thing, I'm really gonna sort of stay away from tech stocks, which might be counterintuitive if you're already following the portfolio, because I actually just bought some Apple. But the reason I took a starter position in Apple is dead simple. It's what I've been talking about all the way through this video. Value. Apple might just stop here and then rally to the upside. But for me, I bought in with literally $50 from the account, and I will continue buying in $50 slots all the way down. So don't look into my position in Apple too much. I do still think the tech sector will come down over the coming months. Now, coming on to cryptocurrency, will I buy any in this coffee to 100K portfolio? Absolutely no chance. And that's not to say that cryptocurrency is going to continue going down. And again, if you want a video on my thoughts, let me know down in the comments. I just think right now it's a bit of a coin toss whether cryptocurrency as a whole goes up or goes down or just stays sideways. Either way for me right now with cryptocurrency, I'm just going to sit on the fence and see what happens. Now in the coming months, one of the biggest stories, which I really haven't seen that many videos on YouTube talking about it, or that many people talking about it on Twitter or even in the chat room, is Joe Biden's $6 trillion US infrastructure plan. This is an absolute mind-boggling amount of money, and I'm thinking about doing a whole video on that itself in the coming weeks once more information has come out. And I'm pretty sure we can all agree inflation is here. No matter what you hear on the internet, no matter what you hear from the Fed, inflation is here, and it's going to be here for a long time. If they continue printing money into the economy, unfortunately, it's going to be a tough time for stocks in the long term. But what should you do? Should you sell everything and buy gold, oil, or even, God forbid, AMC? Well, for me, markets are cyclical. If you go back and check out 2008, the tech crash, what stocks tend to be the first performing stocks on the way up? Now, to be clear, if we have a full-out recession, pretty much every stock will fall. It's all a matter of which sector gets hit the hardest. For example, in the dot-com bubble, of course, oil companies and banks still went down, but tech stocks got hit the hardest. In the banking crisis, banks got hit the hardest, but tech stocks fell as well. And it all depends what is the main catalyst here for the next recession. And that does not mean a recession is happening this year, but for sure we are due a big correction. But in the bottom of a market, companies that tend to do well are in sectors like consumer staples, energy, and utilities. Now, some of these companies are absolutely massive and pay you dividends, so at least you're getting something in a bear market. Now, some of you smarter eggs will be thinking, hang on, most of your portfolio is in aerospace and defense, not in consumer staples. They're your 2 and 3. And you're dead right, but I think aerospace and defense this time around will be slightly different given the fact of the new frontier that is coming. But I am nowhere near in full size into any company, even in this portfolio. But I am very happy with my position as it stands, and if we do get a big recession market, I'm going to be licking my lips because I will be adding into some of my favorite stocks. Now, what I'd like to know from you is, what is your favorite stock for the coming 6 months? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to have some dialogue with you. And also, if you did buy AMC, let me know where your entry point is down in the comments too. And I'm very happy that people in AMC are making money. Just be very, very safe out there, because when the rug does get pulled, it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath. We do have 1 or 2 openings now in the WhatsApp group, so you can go and check that out on Patreon in the description. We made just shy of 5% last month. Absolutely crazy scenes. So if you want to go check out Patreon, there's some cool perks there as well. It's down in the description. That's it from me. Take care, and I'll see you in the next Coffee to 100K video next month. Take care. Peace.